Lucy, I think we asked you, I don't know how many times during media day about what you think it's going to feel like when you run out of the tunnel and see all the fans there. I guess now that you've kind of lived it, what was it like for you?
Wow. Yeah, I was trying to take it all in because it's just like one of the coolest experiences. And yeah, I've imagined it so many times, but nothing feels quite like it. And it wasn't even like packed in there, apparently. That's what everyone says. But I was like, it was loud. So yeah, it was really cool.
You were a plus 57 in terms of plus minus for the game. What did you think was working especially well for you today?
Yeah, I think we just moved the ball well on offense. We really played as a team. Our defense had some ups and downs, but we're going to work on that. Yeah, I just think we finally got to play a game and we were all super excited, and we just played off of each other really well.
Teagan, you had that block, I think, early in the first quarter. Was that kind of the play that got you really feeling like in game mode then?
Yeah, that was really fun. I don't know, I was just in my help, like my coaches have been saying, and it just like kind of happened. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
When two trays go down early for you, how much does that impact the rest of the game?
I think it was really good for me, but just the confidence that my teammates and my coaches have given me, and just talked me through everything, that has been really the biggest impact on my game. So they've all been really great.
Teagan, you maybe didn't have as many, big stars coming here. Not as many people maybe knew about Teagan Mallegni coming to Iowa, but you feel like you kind of announced your presence tonight with this performance?
Yeah, it was fun. I really have to give it to my team though. They trust me. They can get me the ball, and yeah, just playing with them has been super great.
How about walking off the court and seeing all those kids screaming your name for autographs? What was that like?
That was so cool. I think that's one of the reasons I came here. Just the platform that the team has, and just being good role models for the kids. So I think that was super cool.
Teagan, you're a freshman, right? This is your first game with the program, and tonight you were tied for the most points on your team throughout the game with Stelke. Can you just talk me through a little bit what that's like?
It's awesome. I mean, Hannah's a great player. The team is full of great players, so just to be in that position is really amazing. But yeah, it's really my teammates, my coaches, just giving me the confidence to go and play how I can play.
Lucy, you're a new player on this team. There's 5 freshmen on this team. This was your first time, outside of the secret scrimmage to get out on the court and play another team. Looked like you guys have been playing together for a long time. Can you just talk about how this team has come together so quickly?
Yeah, I think what Teagan said, like, there's a lot of ballers on the team, so when you put a bunch of them together who really want to be here, and we love each other off the court, we're really good friends, so yeah, and when you put us all together to play in a game, we want to win, we want to compete, and yeah, I think that just does it for you. Like Teagan was saying, we all trust each other, and our coaches too have done a really good job of giving us the confidence, giving us the resources to make sure we're prepared for everything, and we were today.
I'd like to hear from
along those lines, kind of how helpful is it to have another game against somebody other than yourselves in terms of being able to gel as this group?
Yeah, I mean, I love them, but I'd rather them be on my team than playing against them every day in practice. So yeah, it's super fun.
I'd just be curious to hear from both of you on everybody on your team scored tonight. Everybody got at least one rebound tonight. Just how much fun you guys were having together, either on the bench or on the court. Just that chemistry really starting to gel after a season where we've got a lot of new faces on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, I love celebrating my teammates. I think it's the best thing when you make a pass and they hit the three. It's like, oh my God, let's go. I feel like, I don't know, it's just a different energy you get. And we all, Coach mentioned it, like when you play for each other, like great things happen, and yeah, it just works out on its own. So I think we did a good job of that.
Yeah. Okay. I think it just shows like the amount of preparation and time we put in. Yeah, and the way we trust each other, the way we bonded over the summer, and yeah, it's super fun just seeing everyone succeed and yeah, just play super well.
Lucy, I fully expect a lot of the young fans out there to now be requesting to play in sleeves. What is the origin of the sleeves, and why, I guess, has it become a thing?
Yeah, I don't really know when it started. I started like midway through last season, but today specifically, I was deciding, and it was really hot in the gym, and during shoot around, I was sweating like crazy. Like it was coming off my fingers, my elbows. I was like, this is wild. So I I thought it would soak up some sweat, and then the court would be a little cleaner. There's not much behind
So
it.
is it a consistent thing every game moving forward? Or
I don't know. We'll see.
TBD?
Yeah, we'll see.
Teagan,
Go ahead.
thanks. You had 2 steals tied with Kylie for the team lead. How would you say that the team played defense today, and what's it like to be forcing 19 turnovers, 28 points off turnovers? What is that like for the team energy as a whole?
I think it's great. We feed off our defense, and we've been really emphasizing that in practice and just really working on it. And I think we did a great job just sticking to it and getting those stops and forcing the turnovers. And I think that just led really well into our offense, into our transition.
Question for both of you. This is Coach Jensen's first game, an exhibition game. I know neither of you are from Iowa, but first off, what stood out about the way she coached today? And also, like, does it kind of mean something to you, like, to know this Iowa lifer is finally getting the spotlight in such a popular team?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, well, the whole team's so happy that Coach Jensen's our coach. She's awesome every day in practice. She's just so positive, but
And we won.
everyone, yeah.
May they feel this way in a few more weeks, months.
Yeah, but she's so positive, and even when she wants to coach you on something, it'll be like, this is what you need to work on, but you're doing great. Like, she just has a really good way about her being positive and coaching us, but made good adjustments. Yeah, I got us the dub.
She's definitely a big reason why I came here. Just her energy is just so great, and I'm so happy for her.
Jen, how does it feel? First win as head coach now, lifelong dream job. How does it feel for you?
You know, it feels great anytime you win, right? It was a little surreal walking in, you know, been here 24 years, and, you know, just hats off to Lisa Luder and Jenny Fitzgerald. It's just a lot of emotion that I've worked through since May. And if you'll ask them, I'm definitely more emotional, all of us 3. I think they're doing just fine. And I mean that in the best of ways. But, you know, I just had such great opportunities and great times with Lisa. She really has set a standard here. And I'm always very proud that I got to work with her. And then, you know, there's just a lot comes with this. You know, some things I really think too much has been made. It's my first deal. I mean, coaches, we can put them in good positions, but at the end of the day, they got to make shots and they got to believe in their teammates. So I'm glad. I'm so thankful that I got the win, but I'm more excited for these guys because I think you got to see tonight that they're just a really good group. They're a really great group of young women, and they're just really for each other, and that gives you really a great opportunity to be very, very great throughout the year, but it really makes every day really enjoyable. So I've said so many times, I'm a broken record, but I couldn't have a better group to have a crack at this thing, and it was really fun tonight, and I'm thankful.
Any other questions for Teagan or Lucy?
Actually, yeah, Teagan, I guess for you, just being a freshman, you know, Lucy's played a lot of basketball. You're coming in here, crowds yelling your name and everything. Was there a piece of advice that you got from somebody that maybe settled your nerves or that you kind of took to heart going into this game, or have you kind of just been always, I don't want to say nonchalant, but you just kind of know you guys got to take care of business?
I do think that's kind of my personality, just like go in and get it done. But I really think my teammates have just given me so much confidence, and they just give me they're just so happy for me, and just I don't even know how to say it. They're just amazing. Like they just give me so much confidence, and they're just always talking to me and giving me pieces of advice, and I love them all so much. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Dan, if you want to have an opening statement here, and then we'll go to questions.
Opening statement. You know, I just feel really grateful. I'm grateful for a lot of reasons. For the past, to have all the experiences that I've had, that's prepared me for this moment. I've learned from the best, in my opinion, not just the best coach, but one of the best people. And I'm grateful to, you know, have a team that did what they should have done tonight. And, you know, it'll be a little different feel when the games count and start playing your caliber of people. And we're going to do that, you know, next Wednesday, and then it really blossoms after that. So I'm grateful to have this win. Too much has been made of that. I think just for me personally, publicly, but for me personally, it's very huge because it's everything you wanted so many years ago, but wasn't coveting, right? It was just like I was so happy to be where it was, and now when you get this opportunity, and thanks to my great boss, Beth Getz, and our president, Barbara Wilson, so I'm very thankful for it personally. But it really, the players just do just such a really fun job tonight. So that's my statement, is I couldn't be happier. We did what we should have done. I see a lot of great things. I see a lot of stuff we got to work on, but that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal when I felt the last 24 years in my other gig, and it's pretty normal for tonight. You want to feel this way your first game, feeling like a lot more positive, but you do want to, you know what you have to work on too.
I know it's just an exhibition game, but before new starters, 6 new players overall. Looked like you guys came out and looked like they've been playing together for years. Just what do you take away from a win like this?
Well, I was really pleased with that because Hannah, as we know, she had some knee issues, so she really hasn't practiced since September, middle of it, a little on and off, managing the load. I mean, we don't have Sid right now. I credit Sid Alfolter a lot. She has led since the season ended. She led when Lucy came into this group, and then we had to lose her, but she continued to lead. So Lucy and Hannah and Sid, arguably 3 of our cogs, they've never really played together much. So this type of game, that's why you like to have the exhibitions, that showed us that Hannah's a player, right? Players play. It showed us Lucy's a player, and you know they're going to try to figure things out. Certainly, we did what we should have done. Let us be clear on that, right? So I was happy. I think that's been my biggest, probably if you had to say concern or kind of a bummer that you lost all those weeks with those 3. But you can't do what we do as coaches. There's adversity. And if that's all, now I'd like our turn of adversity to be over, and now we could focus and sit back and work with this. I think this would be a fun group to work with.
It looked like before the game you had kind of a zen moment with the team in the huddle, big smile on your face at that time. Can you share just what you were maybe saying to the team as you were in that position for the first time as head coach?
I really told them, because all of those guys, except, Hannah, it was their first time. They've been waiting to sit in those chairs. Kylie's been waiting to sit there. Taylor's been waiting to sit there. Addie and Ava are in a pretty strong fight. They've been waiting to sit there. Lucy has been there in the Big East, but she hadn't been there here. So for them, I wanted them to have the moment to be like, you've got to where you want it to be. And I just wanted them to go out and shine, because every day, I know part of this is because I'm new, but we've not had one bad practice. We had some bad moments, is like, we just didn't do a drill, or, I had to call a timeout and kind of get on them, and I don't want to burn that timeout in practice. But I think part of that's because I'm new, and they're working so hard for me, and I'm working so hard for them. But I remembered a few bad practices. You just leave, and like, God, that's 3 hours wasted, right? But these guys haven't done that, and I was really just excited for them to see them shine, because they've certainly had some really shiny moments. So that's kind of what I told them.
Coach, leading up to this game last night or even today, did you have a special meal with friends and family, or anyone celebrate you?
No. I tell you what, I have a circle that's incredible. I got a big circle, and then I got a little, that inner circle. They're with me. I can't really get back to all the texts, right? But yeah, that's what's so cool about staying in a state you love and getting to coach, where I love to coach. And I grew up here, and there are a lot of lifelong Hawks, and probably a lot of lifelong JM fans, right? So they've just been great, and I just feel kind of embarrassed because they just get too focused. And I don't know if some of you have seen Hamilton. What's the famous line? I want to be in the room, or what is that line?
The room where it happens.
Room where it happens.
Yeah. So she was texting me. She drove I don't know how many hours tonight just because she quoted the line. You know, I know all of you sitting here, you have those people. So that is what I'll remember about tonight. And
Jen,
some people are coming in next week because they don't think this one counted or whatever. So that just is touching.
Speaking of before the game, were you planning on running up to hug Lisa? Is that going to be an every game thing?
No. And you know, Lisa she was trying to be incognito, right? And she's like, I was trying not to be in the way. I'm like, well, you got a statue outside, you know, right here, a little statue. But it was just kind of like a nod, you know. It's got to be weird too, right? I mean, it's weird for me, but I'm still in it. And it can be weird in my opinion, and you're still very happy with she does not want to watch any film tonight, I can tell you that, right? She's been there, done that. But this is who she is. It'll be forever who she is. She has so many marks, not only on Iowa, but on Drake, and I will say on this nation. And that's got to be kind of weird when you're up there. And I just wanted her to know that I always tell her she's forever on my sideline. And I'm pretty sure I told her if there's ever something you need me to do, if you send it through telepathy, I might hear it, right? So I just wanted her to know that I'm thankful, and I owe so very much to her. But it wasn't I didn't do it for a lot of talking about it or PR. It just felt, right to do.
Coach, just Hannah earlier just caught me off guard a little bit, not seeing her with the wrap on her knee after going through last season. As much as this offseason has had some hurdles, how much does she continue to ramp up and look like, the player she can be?
Yeah, I think tonight was, when the lights come on, I saw a little different intensity with her. But yeah, I think the thing is, what you miss, we played her at the 5 last year, so now we're playing her at the 4, and that's her natural position. But we lost a lot of reps of that, and that's what concerned me the most. So now we got to keep building on that. It was nice to see her hit a 3. She had some powerful drives, but the competition is going to get bigger and better, and it's just a lot of reps. So I'm happy about tonight, and it was great to see her do all those things. But this is where I'm hoping that Hannah's a player, and so even without those reps, she's going to be able to do the things that we're going to need. A really strong 4 player be able to do. Because I know she could do it at the 5, up until you play at 6'7", right? Everybody last year thought we were like, oh, she's playing the 5, but there was only going to be a couple people in the country we were going to have trouble with, and when we got to South Carolina, nobody beat them. So I'll stick by that, right? But she could play both. But I think it will behoove us if we can keep developing her as the 4. But I thought big strides tonight.
Jen, you've talked about working through the emotion of this since May. You've talked about how close your inner circle is and how they've supported you. I guess what's been the key to you balancing your work responsibilities with personal responsibilities and just sort of managing the emotion and everything that sort of comes
I'm just
with
kind of
this?
my little personal thing. I just stay in my lane. Some nights I'll work late and the shoes seem a little bigger than others. I think anybody, I'm guessing some nights President Wilson has a night that seems like wasn't quite as easy today as it was yesterday. And, just a lot of, there's emotion, and it's an ever-changing landscape with college sports. And sometimes you can let that get to you, Everybody can. I could let it at my gig last year, I'm recruiting the heck out of things. But with emotion and wanting to do so well for so many people, and you just got to tell your kids, your team, my own children, just stay in your lane and just focus on that next task. So that's kind of been what I've said, and I just, I have couple really close confidants that they only really know how I always feel.
Coach, it's been nearly 5 years since you've played without Caleb Clark, and nearly 25 since.
Who?
And nearly 25 since Lisa Luder wasn't the one on the sidelines. As a lifelong Iowan especially, what does it kind of mean to you to not only start it off with a win, but start off this new era of Iowa women's basketball?
Well, what I'd like to think is, I think why people have enjoyed our teams over the years is because of what you saw tonight. You know, when the plays were kind of fun. I think there was one play in particular that I would like to hope will always be indicative of Iowa basketball. It touched everybody. I think Kylie hit the three. I think that's why people really have liked Iowa basketball, whether it's Gustafson, whether it's Doyle, whether it's Caitlin and Kate and all the heroes. Is there's something about the wonderful young women we attract that, they love each other. That probably clearly what I think Teagan said the most. I love my team, right? So I think that is what I hope. And I think if we can do that, we can continue to play with that joy and that fun, then it's fun and joyful for everybody to come watch too. And then hopefully we get the wins. But that I think is more holistically how I approach it. Because if I go, you look at that quarter of a century Lisa was here nearly, or the Caitlin Clark era, it's part of the journey and the story of Iowa women's basketball. Just like Lark Birdsong was, just like the great Vivian Stringer years, and just like the dips, right? And there'll be ebbs and flows in this year too. And so just kind of staying in my lane again, right? But part of that is you want to honor that. You want to honor all that has been built. There's a responsibility and there's a pressure to that. But again, pressure is a privilege, right? But also these guys are excited about it. And so I'm just excited that they got a taste of it. But I'm also not a rookie in the sense of 32 years. These games should be like this. I hope we're celebrating all the things we're talking about next Wednesday, and then the following Saturday or Sunday, whenever we go to Charlotte. So I think that's my answer to that, is I'm so grateful. But I'd like to just keep it the holistic, and these are the bits and pieces, what you saw and enjoyed tonight. If we think really hard, I think the similar things is what we enjoyed last year and all the years before when it's a good win. And that's what I hope we keep building on.
You started Addie O'Grady at center today, and you talk about the crowd-pleasing plays. I think certainly in terms of your bench, when O'Grady was D'ing up the 5'4" guard on the perimeter for 10 or 15 seconds, certainly got a reaction from the crowd and from the players. What was in the decision to start O'Grady, and how did you feel seeing her put forth 15 minutes, 8 points on the court?
Yeah, that center battle is it's pretty competitive. It's pretty close, and we've had some sickness go through, and so some people have been out, and then when you're out, right, it's opportunity. And so Addie is really, got a lot of great reps. Ava was under the weather. She has a little more experience. She knows about we want a little bit more. So I really want it to be competitive and reward, that. And everybody stay hungry, but it's, it's kind of neck and neck. I don't know if we've seen a big separation, but we're going to need them both, right? And that's where we have to go back to not glorifying the starters. I try to call them sometimes people who begin the game, because they're all we're going to need them. Foul trouble, some nights someone might have it, other person doesn't. So that's what went into that. She's had a super week of practice and was able to capitalize when Ava was a little under the weather, but Ava didn't bat an eye, didn't feel badly for herself, just, battling, so.
You talked this summer about wanting Kylie Spivak to play more freely, play more confident this year. Looked like she was playing confident and freely tonight. Is that the type of play that you've seen her through the summer and the fall?
Yeah, it really is, and that's what Kylie can, be capable of. So I'm hoping that she can continue showing that, because she's one of her best defenders, if not the best. Arguably, she is. And then when she puts a consistent three ball with it, so I was particularly pleased with her play tonight, because we're going to need her, and that kid deserves it. She's worked really hard, and just her path hasn't always been easy, right? So I'm really happy for her and us.
You preached depth, a lot of times, and on a night like this where everyone scores, and especially in the beginning of the season, How does that make you feel? Just to see everybody put the ball through?
You know, I looked at I don't have my stat sheet, but I feel like we could have made a few more. Then we missed some easy ones inside, I recall. I think you're gonna see us, if we can really get a little sharper, we're gonna hit a few more of those threes that we missed. I think this team has the capability for that. But I like what I saw defensively for the most part, because on the nights when we don't hit, I think we can be a little better defensively. We've been emphasizing that. But we do have good depth, and we have a lot of competition. So it's going to be interesting. You know, nights like this as a coach, when you get everybody in, everybody's happy and feeling pretty good. But there will be times where, you know, we're just going to have to go with a certain set of kids. I think though the depth then is going to push them to be even better. And that's where, you know, I'd like to think that the sacrifice that really good teams make, that they're going to understand that you just don't have minutes for everybody, especially in basketball, because it's quick 40 minutes, right? And the media timeouts, it's not always for someone being tired, because we got, you know, Fox timeouts take an hour, right? So it's like you can go if you're one of the best players. So I'm very encouraged about that for sure.
All right, thanks, Jen.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, guys. We appreciate it.